Hey guys, Brian Schoaf here, and today I'm very excited to be talking about the 2019 New York Comic Con exclusive DC vs. Darkhorse action figure 2-pack sets by Neca Toys. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different with this review. Since there's so many figures to talk about, I'm not going to talk about the packaging or every little accessory. I'm going to focus mainly on the figures themselves and how they stack up to other figures in these sets. Now, first up, we've got Batman vs. Alien. Now, you got this really amazing Joker alien that they did here. And I don't know if it's coming through here on video, but the dome is translucent, so that adds a really cool effect to it. The Superman vs. Alien Xeno, which Joker alien is the exact same Xeno. It appears to be an AVP-style body with some backset legs added in. But you can see here the Soup's alien dome was not clear like the Joker alien, so that's a nice touch. But even though it's the same figure, the paint job really makes this one unique and really stand out. Whoops. Get him out of here. I'll come back to the Xenomorph in a minute. So Batman here is... straight up, he's a masterpiece. I mean, there's really no two ways about that. You've got this nice, very generously cut cape. You can have it drape over the shoulders or have it hang back. Just classic Batman stuff. The belt has a nice paint job. There's this silver highlights on the gold to give it kind of a specular highlight sort of effect. He's got some smoky washes going on over his gray here. Nice articulation, but these figures are a couple years old because they've been in a holding pattern while the licensing stuff got ironed out, which is why they were only made available as con exclusives. So you do get some nice things like double-jointed elbows and bicep swivels, double-jointed knees as well. Good articulation at the ankles there. But this chest joint feels a little bit behind what NECA is doing with its Ultimate figures. So that's really splitting hairs. There's a lot of nice articulation, which you can see right here. But yeah, they did do a really good job with it. I mean, this figure looks straight out of the comic book. The smoky paint job on him is really impressive, and they just really nailed that classic Batman look here. Now, the body style is pretty much the same across all of the DC superhero figures. Let's get Soups in here. And to an extent, that is to be expected. They are that same sort of basic circus strongman, men in tights kind of look. But you've got different boots, and the belts are unique. I'm really splitting hairs here because these figures are incredible looking. And I think if you're looking for comic-styled interpretations of these guys, these are the best ones on the market. We're really lucky these came out at all because, like I said, due to the licensing headaches, they almost didn't happen. Now, Hal Jordan here, he's got the same basic articulation that Batman does with the double-jointed elbows. I'm a little surprised here the wrists don't swivel. It just seems like you could hide a joint in there real easy, but we don't really need it with the lower wrist having its own articulation. Both character heads have a lot of good swivel. So again, really nice job on these. Now, like I was saying, the Joker Xenomorph is exactly the same as the Superman Xeno. Near as I can tell, it's an AVP body. I'm not really sure where these backset legs come from. They're not from isolation. And I'm not sure where the hands come from either. Those aren't AVP. But they are the same figure with the Joker version having this really interesting color scheme by virtue of the fact that he's Joker inspired. His nails are green. You get this green dome, like I mentioned. It's translucent. It just looks really sweet in person. The Superman aliens was just one flat color, but this is really cool, really neat looking. So he's got a really cool wash over his albino skin, and with his tail, this red tip tail, which looks really creepy. It's not part of the character. It's clearly blood splatter. And I think it's supposed to be the same over the mouth. So instead of Joker's lips, we've got this red blood to make it look like the character, but in a weirder, more gruesome kind of way. He's a cool figure. So if you collect aliens at all, you pretty much know what to expect. I can see this guy having a hard time standing because of the backset legs. Some of the backset legs on others, like the dog alien, they get kind of soft after a while. So I don't want to play with him too much because I'm afraid he won't want to stand back up for me if I do. I will probably put him on a figure stand though, because I can see him doing some shelf diving, and he will take out a lot of other figures. But overall, this bizarre Joker variant is really going to stand out from anything else on your shelf. So if you collect aliens, you got a really, really unique one here. Now, unlike the aliens, there isn't nearly the overlap on the predators. The see-through slasher was pretty much just a straight-up jungle hunter with a bit of city hunter thrown in there, and of course this unique comic deco, and that's all accurate to his comic appearance. Now, the Sinestro Predator, besides the base body being City Hunter, things like the mask and shoulder cannon, pieces of the armor, this sheath here, they might be from Kenner homages. I don't really collect those, so I don't know. For the most part, I only collect the movie Predators. So to me, this guy looks almost completely brand new, aside from the base body. This is the current standard as far as the Ultimate Predators are concerned. The only thing this guy is lacking is he doesn't have a pop-out wrist gauntlet. There doesn't really seem to be a place for it on this particular design, so he probably didn't have one in the comic either. I'm not really sure exactly what comic he appeared in, but NECA always does their homework, so I'm sure it's accurate. But he's got all these cool accessories and these glowing, I guess they're energy from his ring. These bits, this does seem to be stuck on him. Normally the plasma caster comes off, but this one is attached to him right here, and it also looks like part of the torso armor. Like I said, it's pretty much the same as an Ultimate Predator with the bicep swivels and double jointed elbows and knees. So that's all the same. It's the sculpt that really stands out as really unique and really cool. And in person, the colors pop a lot more than I was expecting them to. That said, this dark body, I'm kind of surprised there isn't a wash of something over that, but maybe that's just how he looked. I don't know. Again, I didn't read the comic. To me, he just looks like a really interesting concept figure, like, something you doodle in the margins of your notebook when you're bored in class. But there is a nice wash over the yellow armor, and that makes all the little details really stand out and just really pop. For the accessories, man, he's got a ton of accessories. And if you're in it for the goodies, I'd say the Green Lantern vs. Predator set is the clear winner, hands down. You get two alternate heads, one of the unmasked Predator, but for Green Lantern, you get this John Stewart head, which is really cool, so you can make it a completely different version of the character if you want. Both figures have a different set of hands. The Predator has all these interesting, like, energy weapons. He's got his sheath on the back for that sword. For Green Lantern, he's got his trusty lantern and these kind of clip-on blast effects. They kind of plug into his alternate hands, so there's a lot you can do for display on that. Now, the Batman vs. Alien set is very bare bones. All you get is one alternate hand for Batman and this Batarang, and that's it. So that's a little disappointing there, that this set is so loaded with accessories. It really makes the absence of accessories on the Batman set look just really barren by comparison. Now, I got these figures through the online pre-order. I was lucky enough to score a set of each of them, and they did make you buy both sets together. You couldn't just do one or the other piecemeal. But the cool thing about having them all and seeing them all together is just how well these sets complement each other. Because you've basically got a mini Justice League here. And then with the creatures, you've got Batman vs. Predator, Superman vs. Alien, Green Lantern vs. Predator, mix and match. You got Superman vs. Batman, Lantern vs. Alien, Supes vs. Predator, on and on and on. They're great figures, and just seeing the whole thing together, it's really something to take in. So that's about it. If you're interested, hopefully you're able to score a set of them, because NECA says they won't be available in any other form, and I believe them, which is a shame because they really are too good to be this rare. If you like this review, stick around. I got the Halloween 2 Michael Myers coming up next, and I'm really interested to see how he stacks up with 2018 Michael. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to check out our home on the web at bombasticentertainment.com to see what we're up to. Thanks for watching.